Welcome back, friends and newcomers who have yet to subscribe. In part 1, we uncovered horrific tales of murder, disappearances, and tragedy. But there are more shocking crimes that took place on Halloween night. Stories that will make you think twice before answering the door or going out for a night of fun. Get ready for more real-life horrors as we dive into part 2 of the most shocking Halloween true crime stories. Our first story brings us to Monroe County, Michigan, where a fun Halloween night out ended in tragedy. In 2014, 22-year-old Chelsea Bruck attended a huge Halloween party at a rural farmhouse, dressed in a homemade costume as Poison Ivy from Batman. There were hundreds of people at the party, and Chelsea was enjoying the night, mingling with friends and strangers alike. But when the party ended, Chelsea never returned home. After days of searching, her friends and family feared the worst. 6 months later, their worst fears were confirmed. Chelsea's remains were discovered in a secluded area, miles away from where the party had taken place. She had been sexually assaulted and murdered. The investigation revealed that Chelsea had likely been abducted from the party, but it would take another year before police identified her killer. Daniel Clay, a man who had also attended the Halloween party, was arrested after DNA evidence linked him to the crime. Clay later confessed to accidentally killing Chelsea after a violent encounter. He was convicted of second-degree murder in 2017 and sentenced to life in prison. Chelsea's story is a grim reminder that even in a crowded party, surrounded by people, danger can still lurk in the shadows. In 2009, Halloween night in Woodbridge, Virginia, took a dark turn when 25-year-old Hyun Jong Cindy Kim disappeared after a night of trick-or-treating with her cousins. Cindy, a teacher and devoted family member, was last seen dropping off her younger cousins at home after the Halloween festivities. She told her family she'd be back soon, but she never returned. 2 days later, her car was found abandoned in a parking lot and her cell phone was discovered inside, but there was no trace of Cindy. Investigators launched a massive search but came up empty-handed. Months went by and still no sign of Cindy or clues to her whereabouts. Finally, a shocking revelation emerged. Osama El-Attari, a local businessman with ties to Cindy, was arrested for a massive fraud scheme, and it was believed that Cindy may have been killed due to her knowledge of his illegal activities. Her body has never been found, and though there is evidence suggesting foul play, Cindy's case remains unsolved, leaving her family in agonizing limbo. Halloween night in 2004 turned into a real-life horror movie for 3 women living in Napa, California. Leslie Mazzara Adriane Insogna and their roommate Lauren Mianza spent Halloween evening handing out candy and watching scary movies. It was a quiet night, and they eventually went to bed, unaware that a killer lurked nearby. In the early hours of November 1st, Lauren awoke to the sound of breaking glass and muffled screams. Terrified, she fled the house and hid in the backyard, calling 911. When police arrived, they found Leslie and Adriane brutally murdered, stabbed to death in their own home. There was no sign of forced entry, and no one could understand why these 2 young women had been targeted. The investigation revealed that the killer had stalked the house and entered through a window while the roommates were asleep. It took nearly a year for authorities to catch the perpetrator. In a shocking twist, Eric Koppel, a man who had been a friend of Adriane's fiancée, confessed to the murders. His motive remains unclear, but it is believed that jealousy and personal issues led to the horrific crime. One of the most tragic cases of Halloween miscommunication occurred in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in 1992. Yoshihiro Hattori, a 16-year-old Japanese exchange student, was excited to attend a Halloween party with his American host family. Dressed as John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever, Yoshi and his friend mistakenly knocked on the wrong door when trying to find the party. The homeowner, Rodney Pierres, was startled by the appearance of the 2 teens on his doorstep, particularly Yoshi, whose broken English made it hard for him to explain why they were there. In a tragic misunderstanding, Pierres retrieved a gun and, after a brief exchange, shot Yoshi, mistaking him for a threat. Yoshi's death sparked international outrage, and Pierres was charged with manslaughter. He was later acquitted, claiming self-defense, but the case ignited a heated debate over gun laws and the cultural differences between Japan and the United States. To this day, Yoshi's family continues to honor his memory through anti-violence campaigns. Our final case takes us back to Halloween 1955, where 2-year-old Steven Damman went missing while out with his mother in Long Island, New York. Steven's mother had left him outside a bakery in his stroller for just a few minutes while she ran inside to grab groceries. But when she came back out, her worst nightmare had come true. Her son was gone. Despite an intense search effort, no trace of Steven was found. His disappearance gripped the nation, with widespread media coverage and speculation about what could have happened to the little boy. For years, investigators followed up on countless leads and theories, but none led to Steven's whereabouts. In 2009, more than 50 years after Steven's disappearance, authorities thought they had solved the case when a man in Michigan claimed he might be Steven Damman. However, DNA testing proved he was not the missing boy. To this day, Steven's case remains one of America's most enduring, unsolved disappearances. Halloween, with its spooky decorations and festive traditions, can sometimes hide real-life horrors. From unsolved disappearances to tragic misunderstandings, these stories remind us that the true darkness of the world often comes when we least expect it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming episodes, where we'll explore more terrifying true crime stories. If you've heard of any chilling Halloween crimes, share them in the comments below. Stay safe, and until next time, my friends.